All right, Anthony Hartwig here with another fall sports season preview. We're joined by the volleyball coach up in Ashtabula, St. John, Sarah Howe. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
So we are so excited for St. John volleyball this year, of course. I know you guys are too, but before we talk about all the exciting things in store for this year, let's have a little bit of a recap of last year and what you think some of the lessons that you want to take from last year, especially from, of course, the returning players that have all that experience from last year.
Sure, absolutely. So I've been very blessed to have some great longevity in our team. There's been very little turnover the last couple of years, so they just gel very well together. Last year we fell short of getting to the district finals and repeating going to regionals. So I know that's really high on their list again this year. But overall, I think they are they're a great team and they're fun to coach.
Let's have a little meet the team segment. I want you to go through your roster, the big names on your team that everyone needs to know, and maybe a couple of new faces that are shining in the varsity level this year too.
Sure, absolutely. So our like I said, for the most part, we have pretty much everybody's returning from the varsity team last year. Lizzie Ducro, senior, she's senior setter. She's been setting varsity for, her entire high school career. So she's a huge asset on our team. Gabby Johnson's another senior. Both of them are captains. They're incredible leaders on the floor during practice. I always say that they make me a better coach. So it's a real honor to be able to have them. Ellie Bain is another senior. She's kind of been she's had some playing time in the last couple of years, but she's really stepped up this past summer, and so she's going to be a big help for us. And then we have a transfer student coming in this year, Bella Stern. She's a senior, big middle hitter. It's kind of what I've been lacking the last couple of years is that answer in the middle. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what she can bring to our team. And then a really strong junior class. Alexa Jordan is a phenomenal libero, and she eats up everything on the court. Emma Hutchins, another outside hitter, junior. She's a force on the court. And then Marissa Arietta Williams and Izzy Holler, again, really developed over last year, their sophomore year, and are really looking to see how they compete this year. And then kind of a bigger addition this year. She had some varsity time last year, but has really come into her own this year is Katie Carney. So she's another junior. So very, very upperclassman heavy varsity team.
Yeah, and like you said, so little turnaround, everyone coming back a year. One of those big names that we got to actually talk to last year in a player profile, and one of the names that I'm sure everyone that's listening here wants to hear about, Gabby Johnson, coming back for her senior year, has already been able to do so much in her career at St. John. So I'm sure your opponents will be scared at this question. But what way, how do you see her getting even better her senior year? What things is she doing even better now than she already has been?
She's a very smart player, and I've watched her from the time she was a freshman to now, and I get her that short season during high school volleyball season, but she plays club and travel ball as well. She's a smart player, and she's gonna beat you with her volleyball knowledge. So she's a great athlete.
It's got to be such a treat to have that as a coach, because it's almost like having a second coach out on the floor.
100%. Like even tonight at practice, we were working on some things with our JV team, and she stopped the practice because we as coaches, we can say things all time in and time again, and it comes a little different when it comes from a player, and especially a captain.
I want to talk about the libero, because your liberos, and every libero that's out there in the volleyball world, doesn't get nearly enough love. They don't get the sexy stats that everyone's talking about, but man, do they do all the dirty work in the back row. You have a really good one. Talk about what it's like to have a libero that's been steady throughout the program for as long as she has, and that you can trust in the back row to get the ball right to your setter.
So when Alexa was a freshman, was coming into postseason, she wrote me this letter, and volleyball is her life, and she will tell you that, and anybody that has watched her play can see that. She just she just eats and breathes volleyball. Yeah, you said she doesn't get the sexy stats, but man, that girl keeps us in a lot of games. She digs up some, pretty hard driven balls. She chases balls down. And I don't panic in the back row, in serve receive or, I know our defense can score a point. So to have that is a real blessing as well.
I know the kills and the blocks get on the highlights, but I love a good dig.
I love a good dig.
It's so deflating to the other team because they think they put one down and not so fast. Let's talk about your schedule. You play in a very tough conference that you really test you. And what do you expect out of it this year? And what do you think are some of the goals and expectations that you have from your team competing in the conference?
So this is our third year in the NAC. And again, it's a competitive league. And our first year in it, we went undefeated. We didn't drop a set, went undefeated completely. And we were really, really proud of that. And then the next year we did it again. Didn't drop a set and went, undefeated in our league. And it's a source of pride for these girls. And they know they've got a big target on their back because everybody wants to beat us. So they know what they have to do. And, we're going to be competitive in our league again this year.
I mean, target is the understatement. I mean, people are coming in; they're just kind of tired of being the doormat to St. John on the conference.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some competition there,
right?
And it makes us a better team because teams want to beat us, and we don't want to let teams beat us.
No, you also get to go outside the conference quite a bit and test yourselves outside of those waters. Talk about some of the teams that pop up outside of the NAC that you're really excited about that you think will really test your team.
Yeah, so we're really blessed in Ashtabula County to have some pretty strong, for us, non-conference county teams. We'll go up against Edgewood and Jefferson and Conneaut this year. And we don't see Geneva, but we saw Geneva in our preseason. But I'm really looking forward to being competitive with our county teams. And the girls love to play against these girls. They've known them their whole lives. They play club with them. So it's a nice friendly rivalry.
I also, every time we talk volleyball, I want to talk about communication and team chemistry because volleyball, more than most sports, like if you don't have communication, you're just not going to succeed. Mm-hmm. Talk about some of the things that this program does to make sure that the girls are tight-knit, they trust each other on the floor enough to communicate like you have to.
Yeah, I mean, we spend a lot of time with each other, in the summer in the gym. We had a big team dinner the other night. I know, I think you guys were filming our football coach. So we were at dinner the other night. But again, it's a small school, so they're forced to be with each other day in and day out. And the majority of them all play club as well. So they've developed that team chemistry and that team bond over these years.
If you're at dinner during Sam's show, don't be afraid to muscle your way into that. All right?
Yeah, I think they did. There may have been some Dr. Pepper cans being built and things. There was.
That's wild.
There's some background bloopers.
I also want to talk just a little bit about tournaments. I know normally in these season previews, we wouldn't be looking that far ahead, but tournaments look a lot different this year in every sport that's not named football. It's expanded 7 divisions now in volleyball. What were some of your initial thoughts when that came about, and how much do you think this will help St. John open the door for them to make a little bit deeper of runs?
Yeah, so, I've always joked, I've been at St. John's for a long time, and I always joked that, we were a very small Division 4, and if there were 5 divisions, we would be Division 6, but we're now Division 7. The level of competition, whether it's Division 1 or Division 7 in Ohio is pretty intense. We're looking again to get past kind of our postseason rival, Wellsville. We've faced them 3 years in a row. But I think we've got a really good opportunity to go far this year.
So some teams get to avoid the teams that have been the thorn in their side in tournaments. You, not so much. Does that excite you a little bit that you still get to, test yourself against that team that I'm sure you guys want really bad. You circle them if you get the chance to play them.
Yeah, and and last year I knew exactly what was going to happen. I thought Wellsville was underranked last year going into the postseason. I looked at their schedule. I've known this team now for at that time for 2 years prior. So I thought they were underranked, and I selfishly took a home court advantage, knowing that I was going to face them sooner. I've told the team, my coaches, parents, everybody, I was like, whatever I do, like however I can to avoid that until I see them in the regional. I will
whatever it takes.
I will give up home court advantage.
Coach, at the end of these interviews, with all the coaches we interview, we want to give them the chance to talk about their staff and the people that are behind them, because we know you don't do it alone. We're giving you the interviews, the limelight, but you have so many people that are working to make this program what it is. Want to give you the chance to highlight the staff and the people in this program that work alongside you.
Absolutely. Maddie Martino has been on my coaching staff for the last, I think, 4 years now. I coached her when she was in high school. So she's a great person to have on the staff. I have a new assistant coach this year. Her name's Maria Meeker. I actually went to high school with her, and I was looking for another assistant coach. And so that was nice because we played volleyball together. So it's a nice full circle moment. I have tremendous parents that help out with everything from, providing snacks and pregame meals and, our scorekeeping. I can't do it without them. They're a great group of parents to have behind us, and they support St. John's and they support the volleyball team.
Coach, I know the parents, the community, very excited for the rest of this season. We are too. We'll be down there. We'll be covering you guys just like we always do. And we're excited as well. So we want to thank you for helping us preview the season. We wish you the best of luck this year, and we can't wait to talk to you real soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.